In an attempt to clear their names, Turner, Duela, Cullen, Harper, and Carrie head back to the scene of the crime, searching for Bruce Wayne's journals. Harvey begins to wonder if Turner is innocent after all, and Stephanie is brought in for questioning. Hello, entertainment enthusiasts. This is Ray, and this is the Fandom Realm. And today I'm reviewing episode number 2 of Gotham Knights. As always, spoilers abound, so just be aware. And with that, I know we just got out episode 1. I was wanting to go ahead and do episode 2 here. Of course, in episode 1, we were introduced to this whole new cast of characters in Gotham City, and they are taking over because Bruce Wayne, Batman, was murdered. I really enjoyed the first episode. This episode, I think, was even a little bit better. So let's go and take a look. All right. Looks like we're going to the Batcave here to start out with. Okay, and Cressida and Harvey down in the Batcave.
Did you know about this?
Bruce shared many secrets with me, but this wasn't one of them.
And I'm not sure she likes him very much when you look at her response.
Irony, people who couldn't stop crime in Gotham treating the man who did like a criminal.
And I'm just wondering why they are actually taking things out of the Batcave.
Bruce was my friend.
So was Turner.
Okay, very good point there. I like her turning that around on him about Turner. Okay, and we have Joker's daughter here. And some of these clips are going to be muted because of the copyright. Just to let you know, I don't know how many will, but there will be some.
They got most wanted. Wanted most.
All right, I love Cullen here. That was...
It's more of a loan. Once we clear our names, we're paying it back.
I love Cullen. He is doing such a good job. I'm enjoying his character a lot.
You know, if you victimize the victimizer, then it's a victimless crime. I'm not sure the law sees it that way.
Yeah, probably not, but I love all their interactions and the building they're doing here.
Not exactly my style.
That's the point. We gotta change up our looks so that we don't match our mugshot.
And I especially like the interplay between these two.
I really wish they'd taken that turtleneck when they seized your trust fund. Hey, you're a fugitive now.
And especially with sort of her making fun of him being a rich boy.
That guy that I know you keep tucked away, hiding underneath all that cashmere.
And I like his facial expressions. He does a very good job.
Okay, who tripped the silent alarm?
He does a very good job of telling the story with his face. And I love actors that can do that.
Carrie?
Okay, and so Robin comes in to see what's wrong.
What are you doing here?
Responding to a burglary in progress. Know anything about that?
Okay, so the opening here, we're basically seeing what's going on here in Gotham. And we're going to find out that basically they've gone to the Batcave and taken the Bat computer, so that is going to be off limits for helping them out. We also are seeing the group basically robbing a store in order to get some supplies, and now Robin is coming in, Carrie, in order to see what's going on, and she's going to run into the group. I like the first part of this opening pretty well.
As the manhunt continues for Turner Hayes and the band of criminals wanted for the murder of Bruce Wayne.
I like how they just have them named the Band of Criminals.
Mayor Hill announced that he's created a blue ribbon task force spearheaded by District Attorney Harvey Dent.
Okay, and I don't like this mayor at all. He's a crook. You can tell it from the very beginning.
We'll drag those killers out of whatever sleaze-infested back alley they're holed up in.
Okay, I love that writing there. It's a little silly, but I love that writing.
Sure, we have a run of this place at night. Food from the kitchen, showers in the gym, but clothes are another story.
Okay, so I like Robin here sort of giving him a little bit of a hard time about what he's doing.
And I'm not sure how many clues we can get from a watch engraved with the symbol of some evil bird cult.
Okay, so they still have the watch. It might be some clues, could be some money down the road.
Laugh while you can. Court of Owls controls this entire city. They have eyes everywhere.
Okay, again, Court of Owls. She really is scared of the Court of Owls.
And yet no one has ever seen them.
No one who lived to tell about it.
Right.
And I think they have a little bit of a rivalry going in that little group.
First two periods are canceled, and they're having an assembly to talk to us about Turner.
Does anybody know who this guy is actually supposed to be? Is he supposed to be anything special?
And if he were guilty, then why would he ask me to hack the banks to find out how that money got there?
And I don't think you should be talking to somebody else about that.
I mean, the guy couldn't even figure out his dad was Batman. Where the hell is he going to hide?
And so with that, you basically have going more into everything that's going on here. Of course, our thieves have gotten back to their base. They're staying in the tower at the school, and Robin's giving them a hard time. And here Stephanie is confiding that she was actually helping Turner. Not sure that's a good idea, but we'll see. Of course, she knows where they're at, or she thinks she knows where they're at here.
Looks like someone took the wrong turn at cheerleader tryouts.
Of course, she's going to give her a hard time about looking like a cheerleader.
Duela! Duela? Let her go. She's my friend. You can trust her.
Okay. I mean, I hope you can. She's going to try to help prove you didn't do it.
She's looking into where the money you were paid came from.
This is the hacker chick? Hacker chick.
Yeah, I like the fact she's going to probably be nicknamed the Hacker Chick from now on.
Kid. So you're the one who's going to take all those little ones and zeros and make them prove we're innocent?
Okay. And I really like the Joker's daughter here. I like this entire cast.
That was the plan until the GCPD impounded everything in the Batcave.
Okay, so that's going to be a big problem here. Now they don't have the Bat computer in order to use to find out what's going on. And, you know, I like the way she sort of figured out where they were at in the tower of the school. And I like that everybody is working together here. We've got a large group. You know we're going to end up having some type of mission to go on, so they're going to have to plan that. And I really like it when they put things like that together.
Harvey, have you seen Detective Ford?
Okay, so off to the police station.
Is that his phone?
Okay, and that is really not a good sign, just to tell you. Okay, and when this happened, it's bringing back Seven vibes very hard. I'm not sure you really want to be opening that box right about now. Okay, so apparently his head is in the box, just like the movie Seven.
Check on his team.
Okay, I think there's lots of heads in boxes. That's definitely what it looks like.
6 members of the GCPD task force assigned to hunt down the fugitives wanted for...
Okay, so it's on the news. They're going to blame that on the kids too. And this is one of those little things that I might have a little bit of an issue with. I don't think it is enough for me to say this is a down for this episode. But now the news is trying to blame the kids, the group, for all these murders. I mean, they've never done anything like this. They're not out there beheading bad guys, or they're not out there beheading dirty cops.
Bruce Wayne have themselves been found murdered.
Okay, so, you know, I'm just throwing a little bit of a...
Sources within the department say that each of those detectives was decapitated.
Yeah, I'm just throwing just a little bit of a negative in there on that. Not too much. Probably not a down.
Never stopped us before.
We got Bruce's journals. He kept records of all of his cases.
I never saw any journals in the house.
Okay, so we're obviously going to go in and try to find them now.
That's because they're not in there. In his office in Wayne Tower in a secret compartment. We'd have to break in to get them.
Does anybody else think Robin is a little bit suspicious for some reason? I'm not sure.
So you swipe one leather jacket and suddenly you're a master thief?
No.
Okay, but you have some master thieves around you. All right. Again, his facial expressions and what he tells you with his face is awesome.
Since Daddy's power tower became the most famous crime scene in the history of Gotham.
Okay. Again, they're back and forth. It's their banter.
My dad had a private elevator. Goes all the way from the lowest level of the garage to his office.
All right, Turner. So you know some good stuff. I'm glad to see that.
Bypasses every security camera and guard in between. I always thought it was so we could avoid the press.
Yeah, he's got to have a private way to get into Wayne Tower.
I guess it turns out it was because he couldn't exactly roll through the lobby dressed as Batman.
You know, I'd never really thought about that, to be honest. You know, how he would get into Wayne Tower. I just figured he, as Batman, used some of his gadgets. But, you know, I think so far the strength of Gotham Knights is this group working together and their chemistry. I didn't know that it was going to be quite as good as it is when they started, but they are really working out to be a very good group together, and I'm really enjoying it.
Wayne security vehicles are equipped with transponders that automatically open the gates. Their way of keeping people out.
Okay, that's pretty convenient for you all.
Is our way in.
Oh, okay, so your solution breaking into a building is breaking into a car.
Okay, so now they're getting their plan together. So, of course, we're going to see this take
Nobody
effect.
has to risk any more than they already have. I can go in alone.
Not gonna happen.
You get the feeling there he knew they were not going to let him go in alone.
And if you want to even get the engine running, you're gonna need me.
But, of course, he would also feel very guilty if something happened to any of the others.
Because I just happen to know where a couple of Wayne security vehicles might be lying around.
All right. I'll be honest, I do wish they would have showed us where that actually was.
But you know the number that I'm most worried about?
34, your approval rating?
0.
All right, I love that. Harvey Dent coming back at the mayor about his approval.
Financial crime took us over. The night of the convoy escape, every bank in Gotham was...
Okay. This is a little strange in that they get this information, honestly.
They were digging through accounts belonging to Turner Hayes.
If they were escaping from the convoy, then Turner couldn't have been
I mean, how many times did Batman go through the banks and things? Nothing ever got sent.
After he was arrested, who was his one phone call?
Miss Brown.
Okay, so Harvey Dent being a detective almost here. And, of course, we're getting our plan going here. They're trying to figure out how to get into Wayne Tower to try to get Bruce's diaries, find out some information about the Court of Owls. Also, we do have the situation with, again, the kids, possibly, like the news, I guess, thinks they are murderers of cops. So that may come into play as well.
Would you come with us, please? Is that a question? More of a courtesy.
Okay, I like that little interaction there with them.
Not too bad for a trust funder. You know I wasn't always rich, right?
And you know, I sort of forget about that in those first episodes. That
You guys are gonna do great. Come on, we're on a tight timeline, and I have an AP history paper to
that
write.
he does have a background that's not rich kid Turner.
What do you think happens if they change my dad's code?
2 dozen heavily armed guards descend on this very spot.
Okay, and it's interesting that they do sort of match him and Robin up together. And so nobody sees them coming, it looks like, here to start with.
Going along with Turner's plan is a part of my plan, one that involves getting the hell out of Gotham.
Okay, so, I mean, she's scared of the Court of Owls, and she wants to get out of town.
This comfort ride beauty is our luxury ticket out of G-Town.
And, of course, she realizes people aren't going to pull over the Wayne security car.
This is the last place he was alive.
You know, that little scene right there made me a little sad about what was going on. And the,
We don't have much time.
and the way he just sort of stares at those words about Batman being dead. All right, so they get into the secret cabinet. I do want to know what...
It's a good thing you know your way around.
Does anybody know what was on that bottom shelf? I couldn't tell what was on there, and they don't go back to it.
No, it's from when he was just a kid. It's all about the murder of his parents.
And again, I'm going to say Robin seemed a little bit suspicious here.
Listen to this. Everyone, even Alfred, believed that a lone thief was responsible.
So this is going back to thinking the Court of Owls had something to do with his parents' death.
The Court of Owls did.
Okay, so we're seeing some issues here. The group is trying to decide whether to stay and basically fight with Turner or follow Joker's daughter, who wants to get the heck out of Dodge because of the Court of Owls. We get Turner and Robin into Wayne Tower. They have found the diaries. They are getting some information, but again, to me, Robin seems to be a little suspicious on what's going on here, and in several other scenes.
I'm so tired of running. All right, first from Dad, now from this.
Yeah, 6x9 selling black.
Okay, I've always loved their interaction.
Cullen, what?
I want to stay and clear my name, not only because, I chose the damn thing, but because it's finally my choice.
Okay, and Cullen doing a great job again.
I'm staying for Turner and Carrie. And for me.
All right, Cullen seems to be the moral compass for the group.
Believe that he's innocent.
You can't seriously think he had anything to do with murdering his dad or any of those detectives.
There you go, Stephanie. Point this out to him. I mean, come on.
And the longer he's on the run with criminals like her, the guiltier he looks.
But Harvey, you know him well enough. He didn't behead.
And two, if you had any proof against me other than my list of electives, I'd be in handcuffs right now.
He's not going to be beheading people. The Joker's daughter isn't either. So come on.
And I know not to say anything else without an attorney. Sorry, that was 3 things.
And again, I like how she's a little bit on the snappy side of things.
Looks like there's someone who does.
Okay. I told you, don't trust that guy. And I can't remember his name. But so here we basically are. I don't know what Harvey's thinking here. He's got to be sort of distressed here because everything sort of points to Turner and that the crew, but he's got to think there's no way Turner is actually killing people. It's one thing to hire killers.
My dad suspected the court had been hunting Waynes for decades, centuries even. He was obsessed with it.
It's a whole nother thing to go out there and slice their head off on your own.
He drew maps, every corner of the city, trying to locate where they gathered in secret.
What did he find?
Okay, so basically Bruce Wayne looking for the Court of Owls.
In the end, all I was certain of was that the court was a fairy tale.
And it looks like he was wrong. Remember, he had that coin.
Then who the hell is it?
I don't know, but if you don't hurry, you're gonna find out.
So this scene is a little bit eerie here. I just felt a little creepy. As that door opens and the sound effects, it's sort of like you're opening a crypt. And the katana and the sword.
I just met the Talon.
And the thing here is we knew he was doing fencing for some reason.
Duela, no! They're about to be the meat in a cop Talon sandwich.
Okay, so she's getting out of town, getting out of this. The others have chosen. All right, that always happens. They stick something, shoot through a door, they miss the person.
Have you ever used that thing before?
Don't answer that.
Okay, so Robin pulling out the gadgets here. I love the gadgets Robin uses.
It's a 48-story drop, so, don't let go.
I always liked the gadgets Batman used too. I always thought they were really effective. Okay, this might be one of my downs of this episode, and that is that last scene there, them riding that zip line. That was so slow. I mean, come on. Tons of people will see them. That's going to be something that happens fast. So that effect, I think they just messed up on that one. It was not a good one. They could have probably done that a ton different, better ways.
As advertised. Genuine Socolo, limited edition, skeleton dial.
Okay, so, I mean, this seems to be suspicious.
Is this what makes it so sought after?
Oh, okay, sought after. Somebody knows what it is.
What do you mean sought after?
When I called around to ascertain the value.
They never did say what the value of that was. I'd be very interested to know.
Willing to pay even more for the person selling it.
Again, how much more? How much are they offering for it?
Would Duela screw us over like that?
She's the Joker's daughter. I'm surprised it took her this long.
How much could you...
Okay, so discussing what Duela is doing here, they're not very happy.
Okay, because the Court of Owls is not really in the leaving loose ends kind of business, and that's what both of us are doing.
And I think she was trying to scare him there, but I'm not sure. It didn't work very well. So she was trying to get away from Talon, but there he is, killing the bad guy. I'll give her credit, though. Hiding in the car and getting the doors locked. Great idea. I love that she did it. That scraping sound to start that gas fire. Open there is a gadget from Robin. So Turner's going to come in with his sword that he took off the wall, and we're going to have a fight. So basically, Turner and Robin versus the Talon. And they have a pretty nice little fight here. I think Turner holds his own pretty well for the most part. And I liked several scenes of that in here. Now they're going to try to help get Joker's daughter out of the car. And yes, it was unlocked. Of course, I'm assuming she unlocked it. Okay, so Turner's going to get his wrist arm cut there. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure exactly what she hit him with, but that was just absolutely awesome. And so he's going to be recovering, going back after his sword.
How many more of those you got?
Not enough.
And I really like there's also here a little clip that shows them all together. Yeah, right there. Right there, that clip. That clip right there is one of my favorite clips showing them all together. Okay, so a lot going on there. They've basically come to Joker's daughter's aid, and they've gotten in a fight with the Talon, and basically they held their own for the most part, and especially Turner with his fencing background was able to hold his own, although he did get cut there. That's something we're probably going to see that more.
You want to thank someone? Thank him.
So it's time to be mad at the Joker's daughter.
That was pretty stupid, you know, thinking that you could go up against the Talon like that.
And she still runs her mouth. It's crazy.
But if we stick together, we have a better shot at keeping the Court of Owls from doing it for us.
And I think she's going to start developing something for him.
Well, you almost got kebabbed getting Daddy's diary. Was it worth it?
Okay, so let's find out what was in the diaries.
Pretty good with that sword. You know, it's nice to know Bruce Wayne's kid can wield more than a dessert fork.
I think what he's going to talk about over these next scenes is very revealing.
But when I was adopted, my dad insisted that I learn martial arts and fencing.
Okay, so you know, he knew you might need to defend yourself.
Or coincidence. Makes me wonder what else he might have been preparing me for.
Could he have been making him into a Robin? We don't know. He's dead.
I told him that I did it. That I was the one who hacked those banks.
I mean, can this guy just stay out of it? I don't like him very much. He just sort of stuck his nose in.
You didn't ask me to. I guess that's the difference between me and Turner.
And I thought that was a little bit of a shot there that wasn't needed.
System says that they accessed the building using Bruce Wayne's personal code.
What was taken?
I know technically Turner did sort of ask her, but he really didn't either.
Why risk coming back for a sword?
Might want to ask the antiquities dealer we found impaled by one.
Come on, Harvey. You know Turner did not kill that guy with that sword.
He didn't seem to have any complaints when he eliminated your rival years ago.
So, of course, the mayor is with the Court of Owls.
Have you forgotten your debt of gratitude?
And Cressida is just very cold-hearted killer person there.
I'm sorry. I never meant for you to get in so much trouble.
And, of course, going back to the fact that he's going to feel guilty about things.
I just don't get how the Talon even knew you were there.
Okay, that is a nice question that I'm going to be waiting on the answer in future episodes.
Yeah, and that's not the only mystery. They ripped out his final entry.
Okay, so it should have been important.
Whoever it was doesn't want us to know what he wrote.
Okay, so that is going to Robin's house, her apartment. And she has those last pages of Bruce Wayne's diary. Okay, just a little wrap of those scenes. Some big things there. This is the aftermath of the fight with the Talon. Again, they're talking to each other, which I think is extremely good. They're bonding. I love that about this show so far, and they're doing a good job of it. A couple little things just in this scene, one in particular, and I know I didn't show a clip of it, but remember, Turner got his arm cut. The only problem is when we go in and see the aftermath, they never show his arm getting treated. I mean, to me, it almost makes it look like he never got touched. And so I thought that was a small negative as well. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for our recap. Now for my review, I just want to put a few thoughts and reactions out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and I've sort of done it as we went through this recap, but give you some ups and downs and my thoughts. So the first thing I want to talk about, and it is a very big up, and that again is this cast and how well they are coming together as a group, how much they are they're developing as a crew, and I'm really digging that. I like when groups fit together really well, and you know, I think they all do a fantastic job. All of the actors are excellent. Okay, of course, I'm very partial to the Turner character. The Cullen character, I think might be the most outstanding character so far, but he doesn't get quite as much screen time as someone like Duela, the Joker's daughter. And with that, she is right there in the top performances as well. So the cast is doing so well. I'm really digging them. A second positive, a second up I'm going to talk about is, you know, they've done a really good job of using music to sort of set the mood. I find myself sort of, as we're going through these episodes, the music is really affecting me and sort of focusing me in on what's going on. And, you know, it might need to give you a chill, like when the sound went up when Talon came into the room. I got a little bit of a chill. So it's been very effective. Now, a third up, and I'm sure someone's going to disagree with me, but I really like sort of how the writing has gone so far. And when I talk about that, it seems like they have a very good plan out there. Basically, you know, the idea, Turner is doing fencing. He's going to need the fencing later against the Talon. Bruce Wayne, when he adopts him, he gets him to do karate. He gets him to do martial arts. He gets him to do fencing. He's able to basically defend himself. And what was Bruce Wayne going to turn him into or have him do afterwards? I wonder if we'll ever know the answer to that. But it seems like they've got a good plan laid out, at least over the first 2 episodes. I really think they have done a good job planning the series and writing the series so far. That could change tomorrow. And I'm not saying, guys, that there's not some little issues here and there, okay? There are some little issues, and those little nitpicky issues, if they could get rid of them, the writing might be even that much better. But they're not issues that I take big offense to. Now, I'm going to also give a big up, but a big down to the confrontation with the Talon, okay? The up, because they actually did it, probably a little sooner in the series than I thought they would have, but also because they actually got Turner into the fight. He hasn't actually done much up until now. And so also working with Robin and sort of them working together to fight the Talon, I thought worked. And then along with that, though, the negative part is I don't think it was choreographed very well. There were parts of it that just seemed very slow and fake. And you don't swing katanas like that slowly at people, okay? It just a couple points, the action slowed down, and it just didn't seem very realistic, okay? And so that is probably one of my only couple of negatives on this, or downs on this entire episode. Also, big up for the question, is Robin actually good or bad, or what's going on? Because throughout this episode, she just seemed very suspect. And then, of course, she took those pages from the diary that basically said, and paraphrasing, if I remember it correctly, it was something like, what would Turner think if he found out? And that's another big question that's probably going to be answered at some time. But what does the question mean? Does it mean what's he going to do if he finds out that Bruce Wayne is Batman? Or does it mean, I don't know, maybe Bruce Wayne, Batman, was responsible for Turner's parents' death or something? It's just speculation, but it's something that I think could have happened. I'll give another up for our 7-ish moment when the heads were delivered to the police department, and that's just very creepy. When I see that done in any show, I know it's a little bit of an old trope, but it just gives me the creeps when I think about the bad guys beheading somebody and sending their head back to the police station. The only thing with that is I go with a little down here as well, and this is one of those downs with the writing. It's hard for me to believe that even the police, Harvey Dent, who is friends with Turner, would ever believe, even with the Joker's daughter and that crew, that they would kill Bruce Wayne and then they're going to behead 6 cops. I mean, the fact that if they could take 6 cops would be pushing it a little bit. But I think that's something that it's one of those things I wonder about the reality of it, and if people would really, really believe that was what was going on. So that's one of those really small issues I had with the writing. Now, I think that sort of summarizes what I thought about this episode of Gotham Knights. And with that, I'm going to give it a nice solid grade of a B. I think it's very deserving with the number of ups I felt like it had, and only a couple of really small downs except for the sword fight, or the katana fight. And so with that, I do just want to, before we get out of here, I do want to thank everybody for being patient with Gotham Knights. It has been crazy trying to get this thing to go up and not get copyrighted. And so, hopefully this is going to come out Tuesday. You'll get to look at this maybe as a review before episode 3 tomorrow night, and then I can or actually it'll be tonight, and hopefully I can get episode 3 out a little bit sooner. That's what I'm working to do. With that, I hope everyone enjoyed the review and recap. Please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and comment below. And I'll see you next time on the Fandom Realm.